Happy Kaiju July, our month-long marathon as we celebrate Godzilla. I'm continuing our deep dive into Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This is the classic Marvel comic series. It's written by Doug Moench, art by Trimpe, and this is the second part of an awesome Godzilla vs. Cowboys two-parter. And I know that sounds silly, and the book is a little bit silly, but it's a whole lot of fun. On the left, we have the original issue. On the right, we have the black and white essentials volume. And in the middle, we got that omnibus with those crisp colors. So let's dig into the actual book. Look at that. We got an awesome opening page, as we do in every single issue. A full splash page to just draw your eye in. And look at the devastation. Godzilla's just stomping that whole place down, and they're just running for their dear lives. So cool. I love this black and white. The original looks real good here, and I feel like, I don't know, there's something just a little bit better about the moon and the stars in the old faded one. It's just got more of a pearlescent feel to it, even though they're just about the same. I think it's just the paper stock makes it a little bit more warmer and feeling like it's actually glowing. But so very cool. Let's keep going. I mean, we're only on page 1 here after all, right? But these fellas are all running for cover as they see Godzilla keep moving. And they realize, you know what? Maybe he wasn't quite chasing us. Or if he was, he lost interest. Now he's just looking to get out of there and be left alone. But they're not standing for it, because this guy just had his ranch devastated, and as far as he knows, Godzilla's been eating all his cattle. So he's holding a big old meeting between all the ranchers, and he's putting up his life savings for a bounty on Godzilla. So everybody and their mom is out there looking to hunt Godzilla down because they want a part of that. But this fella here also sees it as a perfect opportunity to turn things on Godzilla and to get away scot-free with all the cattle that they've been rustling. All they got to do is keep these fellas away from the canyon that they have all the missing cattle stored in. So we'll see what happens with that, but it don't go quite their way, because that's exactly where Godzilla starts stomping his way to. So this fella here runs off, old Lefty here, he's being a bit sinister. He runs off and tries to start an avalanche to topple over onto Godzilla and block the path. And sure enough, it does block the path here. And it also ticks Godzilla off because he just wants to be left alone. And now, with the way blocked, he has to turn around and face all these dumb people who are just chasing and bothering him. And, he's just a simple creature who wants to be left alone. He don't want to kill these people. He has an idea of what people are, and he don't want nothing to do with dealing with them, but now he's got no choice. And what a page this is too. Like, so very cool. Now this guy might be a little bit too happy, but I mean, as far as he's concerned, they're getting their way, because they're about to capture Godzilla, and he thinks he's getting a reward. So let's take a look at that one. Alright, because of page placement with the ads and everything in the original issue, I had to switch spots. But on the left, we have the black and white essential volume. On the right, we have the original printing. In the middle, we got the omnibus. And how cool is that page with all the cowboys there and Godzilla just kind of staring down at them? So cool. I love this page. But yeah, this plan is absolutely wild. And I like how the guy actually points out that Godzilla's tooth is as big as a horse. Which, when you put it that way, it really gives you an idea in the sense of scale of just how frightening of a creature he is. But also, what he's doing is fairly plausible. It's absolutely insane, but it's plausible. Dude just lassoing up Godzilla by the tooth and wrangling him around the mouth with his rope. But we're going to see right here, the crazy son of a bitch, like, he's got some gumption, but it ain't going to work out for him, because Godzilla just leans forward and flings him off. And I tell you, now he's actually actually pissed, and he just unleashes his fire breath, and it just blasts a hole through the canyon, and he makes his way over to where the cattle are anyhow. So these guys are all running. Meanwhile, he tells his fellows that it's time to set up an ambush. So our main cattlemen don't know it, but as they're following Godzilla to try and capture him, they got a bunch of guns pointing at him as they go in through the other side, which we see right here. A big old gunfight happens, and our main fella here, Hal, he's real ticked off at his buddy Lefty because he realizes that the guy is a no good son of a bitch. And I like how he decks him good here, and then the firefight starts. But they realize, the bad fellas, that, you know, they weren't really looking to kill some people, especially not innocent folks. They're just hired helpers. They're hired men. This is the main fella. So these people are all just kind of rounded up, and they're going to be sent to the authorities. But he's on his way up to, he figures he's going to go out with a bang and take out the main dude with him, because if he can't have him, nobody can. However, Godzilla gets there first, and whether he knew that the fellow was bad news or he's just taking out his anger from the whole situation, but Godzilla just gives him a little bit of a flick and pushes him off of the cliff to his doom, all the while he turns around and leaves the rest of them alone. And they realize that for all intents and purposes, even though they weren't really realizing or thinking it, Godzilla was the hero of their story, because they ended up getting all their cattle back that had been stolen. Sure, a number of them are missing still from the commotion and everything, but most of them are all up there. So he's going to be fine. He's not going to have to dip into his life savings. And Godzilla, he's just a big old good boy, you know? Next story, though, of lizards great and small. Well, that one's a wacky issue because Godzilla's going to get a big dose of PIM particles and shrink down to a small scale. So how mighty is a minuscule Godzilla? Well, I'll tell you what, he's still the king of the monsters no matter what size he is. So tune in next time to Kaiju Lie, and we'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope to see you then.